Uh, yeah. Uh, yeah.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Alvito Putra, number student F1G321062. Today, I want to present material about comparison of waste management between Indonesia and South Korea. This presentation will be divided into 4 parts. Namely, first is introduction, the second is methods, the third is result and discussion, the fourth is conclusion. The first, introduction. Therefore, proper and the correct waste management is needed. Waste management in urban area is something still very poor, such as in terms of the land, engineering, and the other. In urban or urban environmental, several obstacles or challenges are often encountered, such as relatively low public awareness, especially those selling in the market, the lack of waste collection, infrastructure, and a limited number of sanitation extension workers. Because of this method, environmental problem due to waste can be reduced or prevented. This article was created to find out a difference in urban waste management between Indonesia and South Korea. Waste management HR needs to be considered along with the increasing volume of waste and a different characteristic of the waste according to the type of waste. Waste management is serious in the Indonesian is not optimal enough, which a contrast with what the implicit in South Korea. In South Korea, waste management is more organized, even though it's look complicated. The waste management is implicit in this country can have a positive impact on the both ecological and environmental aspect. Therefore, further analysis of the waste management in Indonesia is compared with South Korea is necessarily be researched. Next, second, methods. The two main data were collected with information of a visit to a poultry sample open dumping and with a case a study on the other article in the form of data on the Sudako sanitary landfill. Both of these data are qualified data. Poultry sample open dumping was taken as of the dumping samples in Indonesia, while Sudako sanitary landfill was taken as on of the sample of a sanitary landfill in South Korea data. In South Korea, data and the information about poultry sample open dumping were obtained through study, visit, and the interview by students of environmental science department from the Universitas of 11 Maret in 2019, while data and information about Sudako sanitary landfill were obtained through a study visit on a landfill operation and research training program through the Korea International Cooperation Agency (KOCHA) in 2015. The third is result and discussion. In the first, institutional aspect. The waste management institution at a poultry sample landfill Indonesia is unclear between the regulator and the operator, while at the Sudako landfill, South Korea was being separated between the regulator by the Ministry of Environmental Operation Management and Sudako Landfill Site Management Corporation. The second, fund aspect. Indonesia is still facing the constraint of limited funding source for investment, operation, and the maintenance, which result is a less than optimal waste management. Meanwhile, in South Korea, Sunfice funding source come from the government budget, tipping fees from the local government, business profit from the sale of the gas, landfill, CDM project, research activity, and the sales of the plastic bag to the public. The third is policy aspect. A regulation related to the solid waste in Indonesia are still limited both the nationally and the local law environment is still weak. Meanwhile, in South Korea, there have been many regulations related to the solid waste, both technical in management and the financing along with a clear law environment. For social aspect, in Indonesia, public awareness to participants in managing waste is still low. The community is still not influenced in the waste management. Meanwhile, in South Korea, people have high awareness to managing waste. For example, by the sorting waste at the source and the carrying out the recycling process. There are communities that assist in the surfacing the handling of waste in their respective environments. In the waste management in South Korea, before waste enter the landfill, waste is usually managed in a structured manner. Waste is separated based on the type, not just the organic and the inorganic like the Indonesia. That disposal of waste from the each house is carrying out in sustainable manner and use plastic bag by region. The ordinary waste in sort by type. The glass, grading, plastic, soft plastic, paper, cardboard, use lime, use battery stone, etc. Which has even begin to be differential by color and dispose of the waste sorting box directly. 5. Operational technical aspect. In principle, the operation technical from the waste management in Indonesia and South Korea are most the same, namely storage container, collection, transfer, transportation, and disposal processing. Most the landfill in Indonesia still operated on the open dumping basics, while in the South Korea, the operation of the landfill is carrying out the means of the sanitary landfill, which is equipment with support, facilities, and infrastructure. The last is conclusion. Municipal waste management in Indonesia has provided to the list that the optimal compared to the municipal waste management in South Korea. It can be seen from the difference it's in waste management system and the recycling rate at the Putri Sampul landfill and the Sudako landfill. Putri Sampul landfill uses an open dumping system, which result is negative health, social, and environmental impact because it does not go through a sustainable sorting process. In additional community participant and government policy in Indonesia itself regarding waste management are still low. Meanwhile, at the Sudako landfill, a policy has been implemented in sorting waste by type so that recycling rate of waste is high. This is because government policy and the public awareness in South Korea are classified as high and the superficial detail. This is supported by the fact that the Sukadon landfill is managed with a sanitary landfill system. The application of the concept of a volume-based waste fee system and the collection recyclable waste another policy is the extended product responsibility, which require product of the compression to the recycle and the generated waste.